Greetings molweni sanibonani siyanibingelela kolunye uhlelo oluyingqayizivele. This is Durban Network 2026. Sifikile ngani zakwethu sivula ngamazwi athi namhlanje start where you are, use what you have and do what you can. Siyazi baningi abafuna ukuqala indlela ezintsha kulonyaka, so musa ukufuna ukucabanga ukuthi udinga ama-million. Start where you are, uqala la umekhona, you use what you have and you do what you can. Wenza lokhu okungenzeka ngaleso sikhathi. Iwona kamagama esinamukela ngawo la ku Durban Network. I am your host uSabelo Umfokandabasi. Namhlanje e-studio ngani zakwethu sivula ngomzamo Bill who's a member of the NCOP, aphinde abe member ye-PEC ye-DA, i-Democratic Alliance. Kuningi ke sizokhuluma naye namhlanje, kodwa ke ake simamukele e-studio. Bill mfowethu.
Sibingelele Sabelo, sibingelele with your viewers in kule podcast. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Yes.
It's really a great privilege and honor to be able to participate kulolu hlelo lo.
Mfowethu siyabonga kakhulu. Perhaps let's start up by asking what is NCOP?
NCOP is the National Council of Provinces. Okuyinye yezindlu zaseParliamente lazwelonke. Mokuthi ukhumbula kahle lapha khona i-National Assembly
lesijwayele
abantu abaningi enama members amaningi awu-400. Bese kuzoba ke i-National Council of Provinces nayo okwenye yezindlu zaseParliamente enama members that are much fewer than that. But more importantly, NCOP is made out of members that come from provinces. Legislature wonke akhetha members of 6 each, which are called permanent delegates. Bese iwathumela ke kule indlu engikhuluma ngayo NCOP. Alidwa ke o premier bama province ahlukahlukene, but because of premier bakwazi ukuba lapha bese bekhetha ke what is known as provincial whips, normal leaders of delegation. So I'm one of the leaders of delegation. I'm a leader of the KZN delegation, which is made out of abantu about 60 or my members are 60, and we deal mostly with issues affecting provinces in the country, and that is why sikwazi ke ukuthatha ama issues like KZN as ama delegate ase KZN affect abantu base KZN, swathathe swayise eParliament lazwelonke siyodila nawo ukuthi ene sibizo minister, whether we ask questions to the president, to the deputy president, but it is mainly issues that are in this province that we are mandated to take on behalf of the people of this province to the national sphere. Unlike the National Assembly, which deals mostly with national issues through its portfolio committees and the actual National Assembly. There's a very small difference between the two houses, but if we bambe nje ukuthi NCOP deals mostly with provincial interest and issues.
Oh, okay. Mhlawumbe umuntu uzobuza ukuthi ama issues lawo enisuke niwathatha aze aye kwiParliament ye-NCOP, niwathatha kubani? Do you take from me ngizambela estradini uzwe mhlawumbe ikhalazo zami, ama issues that we are facing within my community, okanye khona la nifike niwathathe khona bese niwa addressa phambili?
That's a very good question, because we have embarked on on what we described as the stakeholder engagement in the recent past, myself and the rest of the delegation, Yase KZN, which by the way includes members from different political parties, including the ANC, IFP, and the MK party. And we agreed and said that, you know what, let us go back to the province, because most people don't understand what the NCOP is supposed to be doing. We therefore decided to write to municipalities, to write to NGOs, to write to departments, government departments, to say that ithini esikhethiwe la iKZN
Yes.
through ilegislature ukuthi siyomela nina eNCOP. Sifuna ke manje ukuza kunina sizonichazela ukuthi ene yini umsebenzi wethu nanokuthi yiphi indlela esingakwazi ukuthi sithathe ama issues affect iprovince yethu siwenze a problem ya national.
Yes.
So we started ngaleyo process. We met with one of the first people we met with, by the way, was General Lieutenant Mkhwanazi. Just around the time when those allegations were made, but we had obviously sasihlele before the meeting, before those allegations. Yeah, look, I had a lot of people panicking and thinking we're clouding the space. We're just trying to take advantage of that situation. But actually, that meeting was long planned. And we got into that meeting, which was meant precisely ukukhuluma ngecrime eaffecta iKwaZulu Natal. Ukukhuluma ngokubulawa kwamaphoyisa, ukukhuluma ngokubulawa kwabasolwa eKZN okuyiyona ihamba phambili kule in South Africa. So those are the issues that we were able to then, from that meeting, General Mkhwana said, look, these are the challenges I have. Anginazi imoto ezanele esifundazweni. Ama-police station awanazi imoto ezanele. Asina amaphoyisa anele esifundazweni. In fact, he revealed quite a lot of things, some of them which I can't even discuss publicly because it would expose the police so much so that it would compromise our own security. But just to tell you one fact that most people don't even know, that we've got roughly just about 20,000 policemen and women in this province. And this province has got plus minus about 12 million people. Now,
which I'd say maybe it's an estimation.
Look, these are known people, 12 million. I'm not talking about abantu abangaziwa. I'm not talking about abantu abangenama ID.
Yes.
Now, look at this 20,000 policemen and women, and look at this plus minus 12 million wabantu abadinga amaphoyisa.
Yes.
Ukhumbula ukuthi amaphoyisa wangena wonke
esikhathi
esifanayo. Angwabali ngisho abantu abala illegally, by the way. So that was a challenge, that they have. Police stations are not enough. They've got mobile police stations here and there. Amanye fana avalwe ebusuku because awukho gesi, because ama telephones awekho, because systems are not working, they are old, outdated. They can't even fix the indicator emoto because someone in Pretoria needs to approve that.
Jeez.
So mesithola lawo mashizo kanjalo, then we take that, then we go back to Parliament. And we process those things through the Select Committee of Security and Justice. We invite the ministers to come and account. We take those reports to Parliament. It becomes a report of Parliament. It needs to be sent to the relevant departments and ministers for them to do the corrective action. So we do engage. We've met with the Premier, the provincial executive, got to understand what the problems are. We've met with the Tegoni municipalities and many other, Umsunduzi, Mngeni. That's where we get issues. But we always obviously invite people to call us and say that, as a member of Parliament, can you come? In fact, abantu abangayazi ukuthi all members of Parliament, it doesn't have to be the NCOP, by the way. All members of Parliament have got to have constituencies. So whether you are in the National Assembly or you are in National Council of Provinces, you've got to have a constituency. If wasendwetwe and the constituency yakhe lapha, remember a Parliament, whether NCTA, whatever the case might be, you are required by your own oath of Parliament that you will take issues from there and bring them to Parliament and deal with them. Escalate issues that need to be dealt with ezibhekene nomphakathi. So whether MK Party, there are issues in terms of people employing abantu illegally and so on.
Yes.
members of the MK party in parliament should be raising those issues in parliament, holding the relevant ministers accountable, because you don't want other people to occupy that space who are not elected by parliament.
Yes.
You understand? So there's many ways of getting issues and bringing them to parliament.
Mhlawumbe omunye umuntu abesethi ake ngithi nayo issue it has been brought to your table nayidiscussa ngendlela eniyidiscussa ngayo. Do you then, are you in a position to come with decisions or mhlawumbe niyaye nidlulisele kwabangaphezulu ukuthi bathathe ama decision?
Well, parliament is it makes decisions. Parliament doesn't escalate issues.
Yes.
Because parliament makes determination on certain issues, obviously within its authority. It doesn't overstep, it doesn't instruct, but it makes determination on issues that are in line with the oversight responsibility that parliament has got to play. So ministers, the executive, they account to parliament. And when parliament says why A, B, and C has not been done, then people must tell us why it's not been done. And if it needs to be done, then people must tell us when it is going to be done. And when people tell us when it's going to be done, it becomes an undertaking of parliament. Then we follow through that. The person has got to give ama updates ukuthi sebekephi in terms of doing it. So we don't account to ministers. Parliament doesn't account to ministers. Ministers account to parliament, and we make sure that they do what they're supposed to do without necessarily encroaching on government.
Mzamo, masikhuluma South Africa, sikhuluma KZN, sikhuluma the country that is falling right now, with so many issues. I think that can be attested by the many march that we saw in the previous year, which is year 2025. From Cape to Cairo, there were marches all over. Abantu, they are fed up to some of the departments due to certain reasons, which they've been waiting for so long, ukuthi kube no shintsho. Imgwaqo, I mean, they are falling apart here, cracker, amabhilidi abolile, amanzi awekho, abantu bakhala ngamanzi. Yini ongayisho njengamanje kubantu base South Africa abasanethemba mhlawumbe noma abalahlekelwe ithemba phese ukuthi izinto zisazolunga?
We will never lose hope in South Africa, because some of us believe in this country, deeply so, and that is why we wake up zonke insuku to fight for what is right. And I know of many other good people who are doing the same thing, who are fighting every day for this country.
Yes.
And I would say that people must just hang in there. It's there's unfortunately been a very deliberate effort to collapse this country by certain people, including the ANC,
yes,
which have played a huge part in collapsing the roads that you talk about, in collapsing service delivery in our municipalities. Just last night, I was called by residents in where I used to be a councillor back then, because the person thought that I was a councillor.
Yes.
Ukesaba nawo kusukela ngo-2 emini. Lo muntu ngifonela ngo-12 ebusuku. Ufona kaningi, mhlambe ka-10, 20 times.
Jeez.
And I couldn't hear the phone because bese ngilele ngalesa sikhathi. Send ama message uyangithuka. Lenza ini, this is nonsense. Kudla kwami kuyabola.
Yes.
Ngavuka ekuseni ngabona ama message, and I responded to this person and I said I apologize. I was already sleeping, but also I apologize because I understand what you're going through.
Mm.
The collapse of services is being experienced by many people in eThekwini who have been let down by this city, which is led by the ANC, IFP, and EFF. And you know, it's something that we know it's happening. Ntuzuma, Phoenix, Mlazi, people are struggling. There's no water. There's refuse collection is bad. Yet the city is spending millions, if not billions, every year. You know, pretending like they're doing stuff about those kind of things. But some of us know that actually it's not being done. But what is being done is looting and stealing, because people are, you know, seeing that there's change that's coming, so they're trying to take as much as they can.
Jeez.
At this point in time.
Iy'nsuku zokugcina.
Sekaqoqwa manje. You know, so we could never lose hope. What I would say mina bandweni ukuthi, you know, people have trusted umbutho wodwa over the years, thinking things are going to change, and really without sounding political, but I think it is high time that people also change indlela abenza ngayo. Awukwazi ukwenza ngendlela efanayo over and over again and expect different results. You've got to do things differently so you can see different outcomes. That's all I would say. And I'm hoping that this year, 2026, being a year of local government elections, is going to give us that opportunity to be able to do things differently, so that we could see different outcomes, see our municipalities, government doing things in a different way.
Yeah, mhlambe kulento Mr. Bill ekhulunywa umfowethu, kunento ehlezi ishiwo abantu over social media ngama politicians, ngabantu abase parliament in particular, ukuthi even they discuss ama issues eParliament abekho radical, ba relaxile ngoba baphila kahle. Take us through nina lapha eParliament njenganabantu nawo phila nabo hlala nawo, mangabe ni present ama issues, are you in the footsteps of the people on suke vele nizikhululekele nje?
Yeah. Look, there are times in Parliament where sizolwa silwe to an extent where kuphakama imimoya kanzima. Ucaca ukuthi sizobambana ngezandla. Kukhona futhi ikhathi la sikhuluma kahle khona sizwana on some issues, because the reality is that even though kukhona abantu abagangayo, but deep down they know what needs to be done. They know ukuthi they have messed up. So there are areas, noma zinganingi ngalendlela esifuna zibeningi ngakhona, there are areas where we agree. But also there's an ample opportunity for us to be able to agree on izinto that are critical for the country. Issues of employment, issues of BEE, labor laws, you know, education. Those are the areas that require us to agree much more. I mean, health. Health is a big space that has been completely collapsed by the ANC, using people that have been looting the state. So those are the kind of areas that need us to agree more. Instead of saying introducing NHI, which is probably a shortcut to fixing the decades of challenges that have been deliberately placed by the ANC in the health sector, why don't we spend the funds where they should be spent, to have more medicines in hospital, to have more staff, more doctors, more nurses, more beds in hospitals, instead of buying Lamborghinis. You know, why don't you do all of those things? But instead you want to do away with medical aid, you want to tax more people more because you want to somehow manage these funds and, you know, somehow change the whole health sector. No, that's not how it works. But to answer your question, yes, we do have a sense of agency when dealing with matters, but obviously we do that in a way that is respectful, that is that befits the decorum of of Parliament?
The issue that has been headlining throughout the year ngo-2025 i-issue yama-illegal foreign immigrants. Mhlawumpe lo mbuzo ngawubuza kuwena as a member of DA, also as a member of the NCOP. Istand senu simi kuphi okanye as an NCOP uma nihleli nike nihambe nigcine phi nale issue?
Look, that's a very sensitive issue oza nayo njengamanje.
Yes.
Because we have seen how South Africans are angry about the state of our immigration and illegal immigrants. And they are angry, rightfully so. But I think we also have got to be able to trace back how we got into this space. And I think my view is that the way that our immigration and borders in particular have been handled in the past 30 years has been completely dismal. There's been a deliberate effort to collapse our borders by the then government from 1994 in this country. There has been a complete neglect of our borders in South Africa. I mean, today you go to borders like Maseru, Bay Bridge, and others. And I was recently there. I was in Maseru just a few months back in last year in September. And what we saw there was completely heartbreaking because we thought we were going to a border, but just down the line from the border, just down the river, there's people are just going in and out of the country. There's absolutely lawlessness. There's absolutely lawlessness. And then you look at our authorities in the borders. You speak to them and they tell you that, if it's the defense, there's few of them. There's not much resources to have more soldiers on our borders. There's not much resources to have the Border Management Authority in their full numbers. I mean, you look at the BMA. A BMA is meant to deal with borders in South Africa.
Yes.
But the BMA has got one of the highest vacancy rates, about 60 to 70%.
Jeez.
Doesn't make sense. Who's supposed to be working there because the BMA is completely underfunded. Then you look at the South African Police Service and you look at their function in borders.
Yes.
And you ask yourself, what is it that they are doing there?
Yes.
If you've got the BMA, why not fund enough the BMA and allow them to do that job? Then you've got...
recently, I think it was either yesterday or the day before, kune statement engike ngasibona somunye who's a former member of the army, uthuke wasebenza lapha kwiboard. Uthi iproblem ekhona, ngifuna ukuthi mangabe kuyiqiniso mhlawumbe ungilaphi, uthi iproblem ekhona lapha noma bebabona abantu abenza ukuganga, let's say abantu abeqa iboard, ubone ukuthi the only way ukudila nalabantu is to shoot maybe without arresting. Obvious kakhulu amasosha abekela ukuthi esikhathini esiningi adubule makufanele adubule, bathi kunzima uku-acta anything ocabanga ukuyenza, kunzima uku-acta kuyona ngoba the following day uzobe ususe office uyobuzwa uyophekwa ngembuzo uphelele na umsebenzi ukuthi okwenzile bekungekho emthethweni.
I feel very sorry for the defense and for our soldiers because it is largely true and I sure njoba ngisho ukuthi mina ngeke ngaba se-Bay Bridge.
Yes.
Ngiye as i-committee of parliament. Now can you imagine siyafika siyi-committee parliament siyokwenza oversight siyobheka le board ekhalwa ngayo abantu.
Yes.
Because sifuna uyithathe lento sibuyele nayo parliament. Can you imagine ke mangabe sizofika ke siyagadwa khona amaphoyisa khona amasosha khona u-BMA customs and so on. So sifika as it's a huge entourage siyafika.
Yes.
And then basikhombise ke iboard la ngekho khona cingo la kugcwele khona abantu abangale Zimbabwe.
Yes.
And ngesikhathi sisondela sifika uyababona abantu bayabaleka babuyela ngale in large groups
Phambili kwakho.
yeah. So we go there siyafika solely presentation from masosha police and so on. Then you get to hear how much they are underfunded, these few soldiers that are able to do the job. Akulokho ucingo laphana, it's just kunomfula. So mangabe nganethi lo mfula uba empty, so abantu they can just cross.
Yeah.
But then surprisingly ngesikhathi sesiqeda sesibuyele emotweni.
Yes.
Abantu abangale Zimbabwe babesihleka besibhabhayisa.
How?
Because balinde ukuthi sisuke sihamba then besibangena. Because most of them also do shopping this side. Kune truck eyayo laphana every day lethi grocer I think iyadayisa or something.
Yeah.
So abanye basuke belinde lokho, but mostly you are there as parliament and there's so many other people. And you realize ukuthi the ANC has damaged this country so much. And where do you start fixing this damage? There's literally no borders. Hence I'm saying that we've got to be very careful on how we deal with this matter. It doesn't need us to be hasty in it. I understand the frustration that abantu ababhekene nayo njengamanje because remember illegal immigrants not only pose a danger to this country in terms of other social factors including social services and health sector and so on, but also there's criminality, there's a lot of things. But more importantly, when a country doesn't know how many people are inside it, then there's a problem. You can't not know who's in your country. You've got to know who's in your country and how many people are in your country, so that when you plan and when you allocate resources and when you begin to fix a country, you know where resources go. Hence, we are now seeing changes being made. With the new Minister of Home Affairs, you would see that there's now drones, there's now biometrics being introduced in certain ports. We get trucks coming into this country that you can't even see what's inside it. But that has been done for over many years, and it's not going to change now. It's going to take some time for it to be fixed.
Ubheka la sime khona right now njengamanje, do you think we need a political solution?
Look, you will always need a political solution to the issue. Because firstly, you need politicians to commit to appreciating that we have a problem.
Yes.
We must first agree with this in South Africa. We don't brush it aside and say, no, we are fine.
Yes.
If we can do that as politicians, then what then follows is how do we respond to the problem?
Yes.
In our own different spaces, whether it is through government or whether it is through parliament or whether it is through different authorities in the countries, including municipalities, by the way. Then when you have those different levels responding with the understanding or appreciation that there's a problem, that's only when you are going to see the difference. Again, you would see that the amount of work that's now being done in the Department of Home Affairs is extraordinary. It's never been done the way that it's been done. There are things. I mean, we are at a point where Home Affairs was taken over by Minister Schreiber.
Yes.
With broken systems, meaning that people apply for IDs and they're not even there because IDs are being sold. For example, now the digitization of the department, giving out some of its services to banks, is also efforts to try and curb the way ekugangwa ngakhona Home Affairs.
Yes.
I mean, I was just hearing recently ngala ngasophongolo ukuthi kunabantu abadayisa ama-ID and lama ID adayiselwa abantu abasuka from across bafika bazohola impesheni every month kuba busy kuma-border ethu. In fact wonke ama-border ethu mekuphela inyanga kuney'mpesheni, you must go and see mekuney'mpesheni, whether it's Maseru, whether it's Bay Bridge, whether it's ngalapho ngona, you'll notice
total nje umuntu wakhona ahlali la uzela nje mezothatha imali yakhe
this week fancy isonto ley'mpesheni this week. If you were to go there, you'll notice that there's an increased traffic because bazohola impesheni abantu. Now that would have not been possible if it was not for people enabling it. Whether it's officials, the Home Affairs, whether it's unwillingness of politicians to put in place systems. But for many years, people have just left it like that because they are fine with what's going on. And that is why you find this country where it is now. But again, we are not going to deal with this issue ngendlela ezo dala omkhulu umonakalo.
Let's zoom into the DA now. You are the member of the PEC, which is a provincial executive committee. Asikaze sizwe i-DA going all out ikhuluma ngayo le issue le yama illegal immigrants. Kuncane ekukhulumayo, yet kuningi okukhulunywa ama South Africans, which then says i-concern iningi kuma South Africans. Would then probably silindele i-DA ukuthi ihambisane nento eshiwo abantu, but a very little have been said by the DA with regards to this issue. Why?
No, you see, asibuyele kulento bengingayisho ukuthi we appreciate that this matter is creating a lot of frustration for abantu bakithi. But also appreciate the complexities that exist around this matter. Lento lena njengoba seyilesigaba ekusona manje, it's a damage that has been done over many years, for the past 30 years. Njengoba ngisho ukuthi the ANC deliberately collapsed our borders as South Africa. Hence we have this problem now. Now, what we can't say about Bakithi is to say that the same ANC has been voted by Abantu, causing the damage that it has caused, deliberately ignoring or defunding the defense, SAPS, the border management, deliberately defunding it, not giving it enough resources to be able to deal with this thing. Now, our people have voted for that over the many years. But we are not going to blame them for that. But what we are going to say is that we do require patience in dealing with this matter. Because we've got to do due diligence in dealing with it. Appreciating that it is an issue that is of great concern to many South Africans, rightfully so. So it's not that the DA is not talking about the issue. The DA has got a lot that it has said about immigration policies. It has got an entire policy on immigration. And we always emphasize that people must be legally in the country. People must be legalized, those that we can legalize, and those that we are not able to legalize, then they must be deported back to their homes. But all of that has got to be done within the confines of the law.
But EDA, I think it was before June last year. Kune statement esake saphuma whereby yayithi laba asebekhona mhlawumbe kumele ba document. Then kwase kuba ne question ethi uma ngabe ubuka ngwasike sakhuluma ngeissue ye-unemployment eSouth Africa ukuthi ziningi izikhalo ezikhona ezithi abantu bokufika by cheap labor, for which so many companies are prioritizing them, knowing very well which they're going to maximize their profit. Then it just keeps one no wonder ukuthi EDA, as we know ukuthi it is dominated by white people, then they would simply, support that idea of a cheap labor because most of them are owning companies. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, I think you are wrong. But maybe let me just correct the first statement. The DA has never said that every other illegal immigrant must be documented. But what the DA said is that those that can be legalized, we must legalize them. What we must appreciate as the amount of illegal immigrants born in South Africa are as a result of the ANC collapsing borders for the past 30 years. The ANC collapsed borders for the past 30 years. Now, for 30 years, you've got people that have been crossing and coming to South Africa from different countries in Africa and other places.
Yes,
coming to this country, allowed by the government of the ANC. Now, you can't then in 2025 suddenly say that no, we must go and find every other illegal person and quickly chase them out. You've got to have a process in place, because South Africa is a country of laws, is it not? It's a country of laws. You can't do what Herman Mashaba is saying must be done, to go and do a pencil check on everyone and see if they can be quickly sent back home. It mustn't be like that. But what must be done is for us to be able to put systems in place. Put systems in place that will now begin ukusikhipha kulenkinga esifakwe yona ANC for the past 30 years. And that process is not going to happen overnight. It's going to take some time. It's going to
so
take
you
some
are
time.
against the mass deportation?
It can't be done like that. There's no way.
What other mechanism?
It's done like that. Government has got to have a system in place, which is what I'm saying we're doing now. I mean, you look at the asylum seekers processes that we have been completely compromised by wrongdoers, paper-based, people getting IDs, all paper-based. So when it's paper-based, when you and I can just sign for someone and stamp and give them and say that you can stay in South Africa for 2 years, do you not think that creates problems for us? But do you know where it started? Because the ANC infiltrated or ensured that stayed in place. But now we are changing that. Now when you apply to come to South Africa, or when you want, when you're an asylum seeker, that process is going to be paperless. You won't see a human in front of you. You've got biometrics on a system that you use, or on a phone, your facial recognition, so you know exactly who's in the country. Those things can be done. It's technology that is available in the market. And the Minister of Home Affairs, Dr. Leon Schreiber, has emphasized on this path that the Department of Home Affairs is now taking. And that is where we are going to begin to fix this problem.
But Mzamo, you can't talk less about so many millions of people who are here illegally. we cannot, be, that much obsessed with the borders. Let's say laba abangene border, okay, abasangeni. But we've got millions of people that are here illegally. How do we deal with them?
How many that are here illegally?
We cannot have a specific count, but
You see, that's
there's two things here. There are people who come here illegally, right? Then after some times, maybe after a year, bekumele ayovuselela iphepha lakhe. Uthole ukuthi akalivuselela. I know, I've seen a lot of them, by the way. Uthole ukuthi iphepha lakhe wagcina ulivuselela ngo-2010. Right now, lowo muntu, could we then say he's legal here? That person is illegal, for which we've got many of them who came here legally, but due to some reasons, then they are illegal now.
Let me tell you this, Saben. Now you are agreeing with me.
Mm.
You are saying that you know someone on a paper and laphelelwa kodwa usakhona akanankinga. Do you know why the problem? Because there's no authority to ask him. Because we don't have enough. I just told you now that it's a KZN alone. You've got just about 20,000 policemen and women. And you've got 12 million people that you and I know. Maybe you've got another 5-6 million that we don't know who are illegal.
Precisely.
Now, I've just said to you that there's no police vans. There's no police stations. There's no soldiers.
Yes.
I've said all of that to you. And who has done all of that? It's the ANC government. They've completely collapsed all of these systems, which are supposed to be the authority that checks on these people that you talk about. Now you've got these millions of people that you can't wake up today, tomorrow, uhambe uyobachecka bonke amaphepha abo. Because one other thing you have, go to Pinetown Magistrate Court. Home Affairs will do an operation, immigration. They'll go and do an operation at Pinetown Edrobheni. They check illegal immigrants there and find them. They take them, bawubafaka Stockton, Pinetown Magistrate Court.
Yes.
And you get there, another department needs to take over. There's not enough court magistrates. There's not enough. There's not enough space. There's people have got to be released because they've been kept there for long. So every department working in sync has got to be efficient to take us from the crisis we are in. It can't be a one department's problem in the illegal immigration. There's got to be a sync in
the whole of justice
in the
system.
entire ecosystem of justice.
Mhlambe mfokaphili umuntu njengamanje ophethe kwi-Home Affairs, umuntu obuya kwinhlangano yakho ETA, uMr uSchreiber, do you think usenze ngokwanele based on mhlawumbe into enani iziplanile njengenhlangano ukuzama ukukhuculula lento, ngoba sike sezwa kuthiwa kunana abantu ababuya ko-Israel abangena nge-DA la, so looking kulento esixoxayo yabantu aba-illegal, sibheka ukuthi i-Home Affairs yona ikuphi engakwenza ilidwa umuntu wenu, then futhi on the other hand kunabantu futhi kusolakala ukuthi bangena through yona i-DA. Mhlambe ungathini kuloko, ngoba somewhere somehow ngibuke ngathi we are lacking i-balance ngapha. Mhlambe wenza kahle kodwa ngapha sekunama leaks already akhona ahlongozwayo.
Yeah. Look, yabona uhulumeni we-GNU, and unfortunately Home Affairs enye ama-department ANC has damaged the most. So I have no doubt that it was easy for them to give it to another political party. Because that is where they have created the most damage in the history of this country.
Yes.
So you are saying a DA minister is there. How long has a DA minister been there? It's barely been a year. It's just been just slightly over a year. And I'm saying to you, this damage has been done for the past 30 years.
Jeez.
30 years. Deliberately so by the ANC government. Now, I'm saying the amount of progress SACNZile, speaking about the day minister, you know, if you had to look at what could possibly happen in the next 4 years or 2-3 years, I think we will be proud to see the progress made. Let me just give you a few examples. I've said to you, Home Affairs uthathwe yonke into yenze ephepheni. Okwenza into ephepheni ikona okusikhandala inkinga isingake sinazo, because iphepha nomuntu lamzana drink. Iphepha nomuntu liyamisana nani ne drink. So once you take away that function, you completely digitize the department. It can be done on our phones. It is now being done. I mean, there are services that you can now do on the Home Affairs at Home app.
Yes.
There's a Home Affairs at Home app that people can download and see the amount of services that have now been introduced by the new minister, the day minister.
Would you then say our vibe, ama office waka Home Affairs yonke into kuba ukuthi yenziwa through digitization?
No, you can't afford to close all the offices because there are also parts of the country where kunabantu abanga nawo amafoni. But iningi labantu, I mean, you go to like Commercial City Home Affairs, you notice that it's people that are going to Home Affairs for the second time, for the third time, for the fifth time. If usuku abase Home Affairs, isikhathi yokwenza ID, ngithatha ama fingerprints. Ngithatha isithombe.
Yes.
So now yini edinga ukuthi uphinde ongena office la Home Affairs. Angithi mangabe wenza ikhadi lakho lase bank, uyalenza efonini yakho, deliver kwena.
Yes.
Sesikhuluma ngemali ke manje, the serious lehlangene nemali. You do it efonini yakho. Mina ifoni yami ngiyayithatha ngiyibhekise kumina, noma ngithatha umuntu wami biometrics yenze yonke into khona. Angithi mina now we can do that.
Yeah.
Yini esise Home Affairs mina now?
There's absolutely nothing.
There's nothing that you should go there. The only time you should go to Home Affairs is when you are born and when you die.
Are we in a state of fourth industrial?
Absolutely. In fact, we are far behind South Africa. But even us being far behind is not because we don't have the people that can do it. It's because people are hell-bent on making sure that they collapse the little that's left of South Africa. There's something called CITAS, which is a state-owned IT infrastructure.
Yes.
That thing is the biggest reason why uzothi Home Affairs to offline. How many times you say Home Affairs to offline?
A lot. Always. Always.
Why do you think that is the case? It's been happening for years. Why for years you have the same problem?
Mhlambe ngempela mfokaphili awusinike nje abantu kuhleze kuyi concern yabo ukuthi why Home Affairs is always offline. Like izolo nje, for example, ngingafonelwa omunye, he's a foreigner by the way, ekhuluma ngaleyo nto ukuthi one of the reasons bona as ama foreigners begcina bengabi namaphepha ingowami be Home Affairs bafiki offline and bayasebenza abelungu bayaxosha mase befika esevela amaphepha bese nesikhathi expire ngoba beleke bembuyisele emuva kugcine sekuwukuthi kuthiwa hayi ndoda kumele ngabe kade welungisa ipassport yakho uthola ukuthi sebembizela amaphoyisa sebemtshela ukuthi akakhiphi idrink. Mhlambe nje ngizama ukuhighlighta ukuthi iconcern yethu nalabo abangaphandle abanye sebekhuluma ngathi iconcern nakubendaba eHome Affairs awusathu sibeke ukuthi is it really phela the days of load shedding abanye babethi it's a scam, mhlambe nokuthi isystem yase Home Affairs it's a scam, but just take us through.
Yeah, you say ebhlungu lento lena bafethu because abantu bakithi when they are told ukuthi system offline umuntu kade ehlele uswela ngo4 ekseni azotshena ngo1
jeez
sakuline so I system offline and people have accepted that people have accepted that they have repeatedly voted for the same government now if you are offline if ufika lapha kwami ufuna ukuvula umnyango ngi-offline
yes
uphinde ufike futhi kusasa ngi-offline uphinde ufika ngaleya langa uzoqhubeka kuze no unless ungacabanga so but the point I'm making is the same people have accepted offline and have assisted the wrongdoers in damaging even more. We are now not in a state of just offline. It's beyond offline.
Yeah.
Because people are benefiting from compromised systems.
Yes.
People are benefiting from systems that are inefficient, that are not working, because it then gives an opportunity for lot Ringo Kulmangao.
I create second option.
It creates, and that thing is not a small thing. There's a big, possibly a syndicate around that.
Yeah. Wish.
And we have seen how syndicates operate in the Matlalas and all of that. It involves big politicians, big players. I mean, you've seen how Malusi Kikaba once gave citizenships to that Indian family, the Guptas. That is part of what they want to achieve. They want things not to work so that they can be able to do things ngendlela engekho right. Now we are fighting against that. I know my colleague Dr. Leon Schreiber is fighting against a strong wind of collectives who are against Home Affairs being completely turned around. They are against Home Affairs being digitized. I mean, you'd have seen Minister of Communications, Minister Soul is also my colleague, also trying by all means to bring in players like Starlink into the country to assist with issues of connectivity and connecting our people across the country. But you can also see the resistance and the fight coming mainly from the ANC and other dodgy characters within the ANC who we know that have benefited even from dodgy monies like your PPEs and COVID funds.
Yeah, that's a story for another thing. IDA inegama elihle kwabanye abantu ukuthi la ikhona i-service delivery yabakhona kanjalo but there's things that has been said as well ukuthi iyaye ifocus kakhulu endaweni ezigcwele abohlanga elithize mhlawumbe ake sibheke kakhulu eWestern Cape for which iyona province ekuwukuthi iphethe kunezikhalo eziningi endaweni kakhulu zabantu abantsundu njenganakolanga oMotherwell oGugulethu ukuthi ama services kulezo ndawo aphansi compared to indawo ezihlala abebala. Is that true?
Look, ngizokwenzela isibonelo nje. La eThekwini.
Yes.
Awubuka indawo enjengasemhlanga. Bese ubuka indawo njengaseMayville.
Yes.
Do you think ama services angcono emhlanga naseMayville?
Obviously emhlanga, yes. The services are better.
Not only that, they you would find that, in fact, I can tell you this for free. Mayville, the city of eThekwini, spends much more money in terms of keeping those streets clean compared to Mhlanga.
Elaborate.
Mayville, you've got what is known as contact Big Five like Tegwin. Yaga DSW.
Yes. I know.
Big contractors. It's a big contract. Multi-million. Hundreds of millions.
Yeah.
In Downjeng Mayville is one of the areas where there's a contractor appointed, which is supposedly supposed to clean the street, collect refuse, and so on, including some of the hostels. And those contractors are supposed to be keeping those places clean. The city spends a lot of money on that.
Paying those contracts.
But if you were to go to Mayville right now, I promise you'll find refuse piling. Piling.
50-30.
But you have contractors. And you know those contractors, a lot of priority is given to how black they are, who they are, who they know, and that's how they are chosen to do the job. Do they do the job?
No.
Do they get paid?
Yeah.
I'll leave that to you to decide. So coming back to your question,
Yeah.
there's the city of Cape Town does spend quite a lot of money in all areas. I mean, you look at the budgeting there, and you look at how much Khayelitsha gets allocated. You know, but again, I mean, I was there recently for the NCOP Provincial Week, the local government week. I mean, in some of the areas we went to, yes, it was very filthy. There were refuse piling up. There were sewer, but you know what? Surprisingly, you couldn't even see the ward councillor, and that's an ANC ward. So as a ward councillor, you also need to take a responsibility. You are driving in your area, up and down. What are you doing about it? I mean, I was a councillor. I would take a picture, send it to either a head of water and sanitation or the city manager or whoever in the city to say that, can this be attended to? So it becomes a collective responsibility to resolve these issues. It's not a one-person issue.
Expropriation of land without compensation. What is your stand as a DA?
Uzongifaka ekhulumeni-ke manje. Look, there's obviously been a lot of debate around that matter.
Obviously.
And the debate is obviously into ebalulekile ukuthi ikhulunywe indaba yomhlaba. That is why ke ku-DA singayibalekile ukuyikhuluma. In fact, we've even got a policy around land reform. Not just land reform, but restitution, land tenure, security, because you can't speak of one and not speak of the other. It's an interlinked process that needs to be looked in that way. But what we have seen in terms of land reform in South Africa is a complete mismanagement on how it's been done. I mean, a lot of people speak about the amount of land that is in the hands of the state, that is sitting in the hands of the state. A lot of people speak about the amount of land that has been returned to the state, whether through a willing seller or willing buyer approach or voluntary giving back, and how that has been redistributed, and how that redistribution has been done by a state, by the ANC government. In fact, mina ngisebenzela nje endaweni enjengase ngoZululand, there's some farms there aziwa ukuthi lokho kuyifarm lalelikhulu lomlungu thizeni kwakhona that process labuyiselwa kuhulumeni la selibuyiselwa ebantwini abantu ba trainwa but selicollapsile seliphelile sekukhula.
There's many of them, by
there's
the
a lot
way.
of them. Now we need to ask ourselves one question, we say, why is that happening? Why is that happening? And our view is that the ANC has not been able to do this process in the best way, that's in the best interest of abantu. I mean, you look at some of the things that we look at and talk about is Ingonyama Trust, for example.
Yeah.
Which is vast amount of land belonging to Isilo. And not many people talk about Itena, or security of Mhlaba. I mean, it's collecting amakuthiwa khona usalukazi sithakathayo sixoshwe kuleyo ndawo shiswe lo muzi
Sidingiswa.
so uphelele lo muzi because that land didn't belong to that person.
Mhlaba
Sikolethina abantu besifazana benganikezwa umhlaba ngoba kufanele umuntu esifazana ashade noma mhlambe kube khona lo muntu besilisa okuyena ozothola umhlaba. In fact, in some parts of Ingonyama and the Eastern Cape and other rural areas, that's still the process.
Yeah.
But so I don't want us to fall into a trap, just like the issue of illegal immigrants, of wanting to deal with this land reform in a way that is very much subjective in a sense. We must look at it overall. What has been that? What are the challenges? Yes, we agree that land was taken from Bantu Bagiti. Yes, we agree that there must be a process to correct that. But what is that process? Is the current process in place beneficial to Abantu Bagiti? Or should we rather consider alternatives?
Mhlambe sesivala Mvwabhili. What are your thoughts on GNU and GPU so far? Siyazi ukuthi siqede unyaka ophelele mangicabanga. Do you think ukuthi ipurpose yayo so far it has been achieved? Then a second question is, we are going to the local government elections this year. I know DA seems to be a very big enemy with the MK party. Are we gonna see mhlambe nenza ama-coalition somewhere ne-MK party if mhlambe ingeza kunini madoda sishoda ngani la asibophe anything?
Mhlawumbe ngiqale ngaloko kugcina umbuzo. DA has made it clear that ngeke izisebenze ne-MK party. Just need to be quite clear on that. We've made it very clear that we are not going to work with the MK party. Not now, not anytime, not ever.
Reasons?
Jacob Zuma is one of the people that destroyed this country. Jacob Zuma. But also beyond that, the MK party has made it clear that it is not a part of the constitution. It does not respect the constitution. It does not want the constitution. The DA is a constitutional party. It's a party that strongly believes in constitutionalism. And therefore there's nothing that will bring us anywhere close to a party that opposes a constitution as a South Africa. The second question is, yes, the GNU and the GPU has had its challenges, but I think we are in a better place than before. I think what the GPU has been able to achieve is far better than what we have seen in the past. There's DA MECs in the GPU, MEC in Public Works, Martin Meyer, you've got MEC Francois Rogers for finance, and then you've got other political parties in the executive also who've not been doing so bad. And I think what we are seeing, give it another 1, 2, 3 years, I think it will certainly be at a much better place, including the GNU, because what we must know and understand and appreciate is that the politics of coalitions is here to stay for the longest time, and this is the first time ever in South Africa la siba khona nohulumeni obambiswana. Abanye basacathula basazama ukunderstanda nokuvuma isimo, but so babekezelela sibanika isikhathi ukuthi bakufake engqondweni zabo. But coming to this question ma coalitions 2026, there's what will happen in KZN specifically after Lama elections is going to be very important for all political parties, by the way, but also for the people of KwaZulu-Natal and the different municipalities, which is why people have got to go out and vote this time around, because what you are going to see is a far more hung municipalities, obviously because of the MK factor and other small political parties that are coming up, and that will also play an important role. You know, you've seen in eThekwini where you had one-man parties, people that were not known who they are, who they represent, what they represent, and those people are very dangerous to coalitions, because they don't come from organizations that have got systems in place. So if a party army and I just register ngithi as a wonga party, and then bese ngithola masithi awu2 noma eyodwa, and I've got no idea what I've just done. I get there, then comes this party enkulu, baphethe isaka mhlambe la 20,000 mana ngazi ngiyibona. Then those people play a huge role in shifting how governments are formed in municipalities. So people must help us. If you don't want chaos in your municipality, you've got to go out and vote for a strong party like the DA, so that at least your vote is safe.
A question esimama ekugcineni, do you still have confidence kubaba Cyril Ramaphosa, madam?
Well, the Cyril Ramaphosa is the president of the country, and he remains the president of the country.
Do you still have confidence in Cyril?
I don't have any problems. I think he remains the president of the country.
Last question. KwaZulu-Natal, as we know, ukuthi ubuya ku province ya KwaZulu-Natal, as representer we NCOP. EMK or noma abantu base bakwaZulu-Natal in particular, baphuma ngobuningi babo, bafike bavotela EMK, bayibeka if I'm not mistaken 45 to 48%, right, ngokwama vote. Kodwa EMK is not near with GPU. Awuboni ukuthi iwill yabantu ababefisa ukulidwa iMK ayizange iseveke, rather kweza iwill yabantu ababekade bengaphumelelanga ukhetho.
Well, abantu bakithi azange bayivotele MK ngobuningi babo ukuthi MK ikwazi ukuba nohulumeni KwaZulu-Natal. Yes, abantu bayivotele MK, kodwa ikwazanga ukuthi wine ukhetho ukuze ikwazi ukuthi iparty sifundazwe. Iqiniso yilelo. So ke uhulumeni okhona njengamanje uhulumeni we-majority ohlanganisa ama-political parties ahlukahlukene, okuyintando futhi abantu leyo. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I think the MK party will get another opportunity in 2029, I think. And if they want to be in charge of the KZN government, then they must win. They must get 50 plus 1, 51%.
Decisive victory.
Yeah, they must get the victory. That's how elections are won. We accepted that we didn't win. And other political parties that were in coalitions with also accepted they did not win. And we then formed government because we must continue. Life, we must forge on.
And decided to kick out the person with the majority
we did not
of
decide
votes.
to kick out the person. The person kicked himself out because no one wanted to work with the MK party. You would have seen what they were doing recently in the legislature. Who would want to work with those people? Would you want to bring them here in the studio? They will destroy the studio because that's how they operate. So I don't even think that the same people, in fact, speaking to many people, even after what they did in the legislature a few weeks ago, people are saying they made a mistake. They'll no longer vote for this party because it's a party of chaos. It's a party of destruction.
You're calling them hooligans.
It's a party of hooligans, correctly so. Yeah.
Mzamo sesifike ekugcineni kokuhlalisana kwethu sibonga kakhulu mfowethu ukuba nawe e-studio. Mhlawumbe sesivala nje abafisa ukukuthola ukuxhumana nawe ama social handles wakho ami kanjani?
Ngikhona bethi laphana ngibeze ngididele izinto but ngikhona ku Facebook Mzamo Bhili MP. Ngikhona futhi na ku Twitter Mzamo Bhili. Ngikhona na ku TikTok Mzamo Bhili. Yeah, I think Instagram Mzamo Bhili. Wonke nje Mzamo Bhili. Lapho kuhlwe lapha ku Facebook kuphela. Page lami Mzamo Bhili MP.
Nganza wesesivala kanjalo ke uhlelo lwayo iDurban Network I'm host uSabelo umfowandabase la kade sihoste khona uMzamo Bhili, who's a member of the DA. He is in the PEC of the DA, also a member of the NC of OP, member of parliament. Parliament lesibili angisho njalo.
Indlu yenye indlu yaseParliament.
Yes. Yenye indlu yaseParliament. Esivala kanjalo kuhlelo leni lawo ke iDurban Network. Siyacela ukuthi nisifollow ngobuningi benu ku Facebook page yethu, nisithole futhi lapha ku TikTok as well as the YouTube. Sivala kanjalo ke uhlelo sithi nje abake babonana baphinde babonana. Danko.